43 lap race around this fantastic racetrack. Now, I don't think Gavin's had a go around here in these cars because he's not racing these cars around Monaco. I don't think Ray's had a go in them either. Have you guys?
I did have a quick blast the other day, actually.
Oh, so that makes two of us then. Ray, you let us down.
I've done it. I've had to go.
Oh, that's all three of us then. So come on, how did you get on?
Crashed it twice.
I crashed it a lot more than twice.
How many corners did you go round, Ray? 2?
No, I got through the tunnel sideways, out the other end, hit the wall.
Oh dear.
And then I went into the pits, it didn't put a new tyre on. So I had to, when I left, I restarted, and then I get back out, went round the lap, and at turn 1, bang, there goes my wheel again.
Oh dear. Well, I did quite a few laps around here, and I crashed a lot. Although I wouldn't call it crashing a lot. I had a few crashes. I don't know if you guys found this. I definitely did, and I think it's something the drivers may struggle with tonight. As I'm looking at Hesselden, the front tyres on this car are quite small, quite narrow. The rear tyres are really fat and wide. It looks fantastic. Go, go, go. But it means that the rear of the car is wider than the front of the car. So when you're going around Monaco getting your full wheel nice and close to the barrier, it's so easy to actually hit the barrier with your rear wheel, and then you're having a crash.
Yeah, I found that out.
It's just such a tight and twisty circuit that it's inevitable you're going to hit a piece of Amco at some point. I really struggled with it on myself.
How did you find getting the tyres up to temperature?
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah, I agree. It took me about 2 or 3 laps to really get the tyres up to temperature to be able to really push the car. And when the tyres did come on, you could really tell because, on the wheel, you could really feel the wheel grip up. It got heavier. Okay, Hesselden's not far off there, starting the first flying lap. As he's about to do that, we'll quickly run through the resultant standings from last week's event. Round 7 at the Nord Street. What a race that was as well. If you've not seen it, go back and have a watch, because it was an absolute cracker. Or should that be called cracker? It was brilliant either way. Okay, so the result, surprise winner of Hesselden actually, and it's not often we say that, but surprise winner of Hesselden. He qualified 3rd, finished 1st. Neotic qualified 4th, finished 2nd. David Hart qualified 6th, finished 3rd. K-Slate qualified 5th, finished 4th. Sorry, it's out of 1 next to it. His position's gained and lost. I was thinking he can't have won. Killer Corkin in his first race came 5th. After qualifying 7th. Duo Finn finished 6th after qualifying 9th. And then we're into the DNFs. James Hulkenberg, who DNF'd in fantastic fashion. Live Bright and Andy Russell. That means that in the standings, we've got Hesselden, who has taken over the lead of the PCF title chase now, on 136 points. James Hulkenberg not scoring any points, and that hurt him a lot. He's on 122, so 14 points between them, and Hulkenberg needs a result here, but Hulkenberg has been very good on twisty circuits. K-Slay's in 3rd place on 99 points, with Richie Davey in 4th on 82. He's followed by Neo Tig on 77, Duo Finn on 62, David Harp on 54, Andy Russell on 38, Woolhouse on 30, GBM Beardy on 29, Livebro on 24, who's not racing this evening, Jason on 22, Driver Montana on 15, and then Killer Corkin on 11, and Leomo McElroy on 0. And Leomo McElroy is not racing tonight, but Hesselden's got 2nd place, with K-Slay taking pole position by 0.8 of a second. So guys, is anybody lighting up your timing screens if you've got them there tonight?
No, I was on track having a wee go.
Well, we have said to Ray that if he wants to race in this, he can do. So is it a little bit of a feeler, Ray, to see if you've got the cojones to do it?
I just hit the wall, so
you'll have to eat a bit of your birthday cake. You might get the Sorry, we'll ignore that. Okay, so Gavin, who's got your eye at the moment? As Hulkenberg goes pole position with a 1:28.8. So that's who you was watching it. What was his lap like?
It was immense. Clean out. Just over 2 seconds clear.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see if K-Slade goes quicker on his second lap of spin as Hesselden. But Hulkenberg straight away out the box. Box have that one. I mean, he's got a bit of something to do, or to sort of put on the table, so to speak, after the Nordschleife, because he looked on course to potentially win that race, and he ended up scoring no points. So let's see what K-Slade has got. He's not improved. Yes, he has, by 2 tenths.
Still not close enough.
Hessel,
losing time in the second sector. So all this time's going there.
Is that a surprise? I mean, if we think about it, where was Hulkenberg strong in the previous twisty circuits? It was in the really tight twisty bits, and that's a lot of sector 2. I've gone on Richie Davey at the moment. He's currently sat in 4th place. With a 1:32.1 at 6.8. If you do see anybody popping up purples anywhere, guys, or even personal best greens, just give us a shout out.
Will do.
Richie Davey then making his way into Tabac, and I found the entry of Tabac quite a tricky one, because you think, yeah, I've got round it nicely, but the rear wheel clips the barrier, and then you're riding the wall. But also, I mean, I did a live stream with me. I did a bit of a run around here, and one of the things I noticed in the swimming pool, the chicane, the second part of it, if you hit the barrier on the left and into the second chicane, you struggle to get off the barrier, and there is a Tech Pro barrier just waiting to snap you up. Richie Davies been dropped down to 5th place, has improved his lap time. Hesselden's down to 4th. Dave the Harpinist has snuck up into 3rd place with a 1:31.168, and it looks like he's pushing again for another flyer.
Neostig looks to be struggling on most of the corners, and that car doesn't look planted at all.
That's a little bit of a surprise, really. I mean, at the Nordschleife, he was quick. He showed that he likes that track. And, I mean, this circuit's of a similar nature, tight, twisting, narrow. But if it's a track that he doesn't like, it is going to show up, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, especially on the circuit with it being such a short lap. See if he's going to improve. No. Dave the Harp on an absolute flying first sector. Best of everybody, 25.7.
Sector 2's probably just about to pop up as well. A little bit of a messy swimming pool chicane there, the second part of it, into the last cast now, and the final corner, Anthony Nodes nicely through there, though he's hard on the power, heading up to the line. Is it going to be a good one?
It's a good lap.
30.5. It's a good lap time now. Hulkenberg, he's back out on track. So go on, Gavin.
Hulkenberg was a 10th faster in the first sector than Dave the Harp, so if Dave was pushing on that lap, and then he's even further behind in the second sector, Hulkenberg set a fantastic, well, it's a special lap really. He's only just gone out, it's his first attempt.
Well, obviously he's getting his tyres up to temperature straight away. He's not improved on his lap time. Let's see if he does go on for a flyer here. He is using a lot of the curbs as he makes his way up the hill now. Robbo Rivage into Massenet. Getting ready for Casino Square, and it's so easy to run wide here. James throwing the car into the corner, and it's sticking for him. Now down the hill towards Mirabeau. Avoid the bump. And you have to in these cars, they don't like the bump. Coping with the hairpins beautifully. See how he gets on with lows.
Just on a personal best first sector.
Well, we could be on for a new pole position time here. We'll see how he gets on through the tunnel. Nearly clips the barrier at Portier, but beautifully through the corner. Now through the tunnel. No wiggles, no moments. Has the car on the brakes down the hill. He's gone deep. He's gone deep.
I don't know if he saved that or not.
He may not have been able to get away with that one. Into Tabac now. We can hear cars hitting barriers all over the place, and it's not surprising. to go. Having that bit of a moment, I don't think this is going to be a faster lap. I was going to say he's braking a lot later than I was able to down the hill, but obviously he's had a chance to work on the setup, so gained a lot of time there, and he did not improve on the lap. K-Slay is now back up to second place with a 1:30.2. Dave's 3 tenths behind him, and he's sideways a little bit through Casino. Heselden, he's in 4th place, coming out of the tunnel.
Oh, K-Slay's had a hit.
Spun.
That must be who you've seen, it's K-Slay, I think.
Yeah, the Nouveau chicane. So Heselden then, I'm going to jump off board with him. Let's see, Richie Davey, he's in 5th. If you could let us know if Heselden does improve. Andy Russell, he's in 6th place at the moment, about a second off 5th.
It's not looking like Heselden. He's not going to set a pole lap, that's for sure.
I tell you what, the nature of this circuit for the battle between Hulkenberg and Heselden with 2 H's, we need another H to get in there so we can get sued by WWE. Oh, Andy Russell having a big sideways moment. Woolhouse leaving the pits and Leo comes out on track.
Oh, Andy Russell. It's in barrier, in tunnel.
Yeah, he's back in the pits now. I see Temp Fear driving a car that looks a lot like Danger Harps. Going through Casino, taking it very, very cautiously, so I think he might be on an outlet. And there's a guy on the track, I don't know who he is, but now he knows I'm listening to him, you know we're going to see him hit the barrier. As he makes his way up to Massonnet. Oh, he's wiggling. And these cars are not easy to drive with no setup really. Joyfin, he's making his way through lows. He's not set a time yet. Is Joyfin on a time lap at the moment, do you know, Gavin?
Joyfin, no. His first sector is 3 minutes and 7, so I very much doubt that.
I think I would agree with you on that one.
He's on an outlap, he's just coming down.
Well, one of the things I noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, Gavin, but yeah, coming out of the tunnel and down the hill, I found quite often the car just wanted to understeer and slide left as you're making your way down the hill.
As soon as the back end steps out, which it does, every time you come round that corner, it's one of them cars that I just don't enjoy driving, which is why obviously I'm not racing in it, to be honest. It just has your ass every time it wants to.
I must admit, when I was, I thought I'll take it round here for a bit of a fun drive. It was kind of fun, but it was hard work. It really was hard work. Okay, let's see, Hulkenberg is no, that's Ray crossing the line. K-Slay out on a lap, he's coming out of the tunnel at the moment. See if he's going to improve on his lap time, but Hulkenberg having that 2-second gap. Yeah, well, I was going on about the H's. For Hulkenberg, if he can start this race on pole position, knowing he's got a couple of seconds in the bag potentially on pace, that'll work fantastically in a race around here, because if Heselden gets stuck in the opening laps behind K-Slay, Dave the Hart, he could be stuck there for the whole race.
Yeah. First corner, vital, absolutely vital. Even though it's a 44 lap race, if there's an overtake on the first corner, it can have massive impact for the rest of the race, especially on this circuit. There's just so many non-opportunities to overtake.
44 laps.
Is it on 44? It was 43 should be. Anyway.
30 laps? No way I'm racing, I can't even get it good to ground one. Without it, it's so much hard work.
I will admit, it is at 44 laps, I think.
Well, I know I went for good luck.
Hopefully the drivers will spot that one. It'll be easier to do the extra lap than to do a safety car restart of any kind. K-Slay did improve his lap time, but he stayed in at second place. Dave the Harp is on another flying lap, but is still in third place. Heselden is in the pits. His qualifying is over. So is Richie Davey. Andy Russell is back out on track. Oh, Dave the Harp's crashed it on the entry to the tunnel. That's his lap over. Andy also, I don't know if he'll be able to complete his lap. Woolhouse won't either. He's in 7th place at the moment. Neotig coming through to back in 8th at the moment. Could do with getting a decent end to the lap here, but he's running a little bit wide. Or is that just a little bit of lag?
On Caseley's last timed lap, he did go 2/10 faster, leaving the gap at 0.8 of a second as opposed to just over 1.
So Caseley got a little bit of pace now. Neotig and a car ahead of him, just about to cross the line. They've got enough time to do so. With 10 seconds and qualifying is over. Is Neotig going to improve? He does. He goes to 7th place. Demotes Woolhouse to 8th, and Woolhouse's session is over. Tenfair's not going to be able to finish a lap, and he's in 9th at the moment. So Duofin didn't get to put a timed lap in either as well, I don't think. So Hulkenberg does take pole position, doing one flying lap on each occasion. Caseley 2nd, David Hart 3rd, Hesselden 4th, Richie Davey 5th, Andy 6th, Neotig 7th, Woolhouse 8th, Tenfair 9th, Ray's in 10th, and Joyfin in 11th, but I don't think Ray will be doing this one.
Joyfin did set a lap time of 1:42.
Okay, it was just a little slower than your own then. Okay, well, we're into the 5-minute warm-up session now, which is an opportunity for the drivers to get their setup sorted. Ray, could you do me a favour? Could you send a mass message out saying it might be on 44 laps to the drivers?
Yeah, okay.
Apologies.
But it's better for the drivers if they've got the extra lap of fuel in than not having enough fuel to get to the end. That was a very interesting qualifying session. I mean, Hulkenberg once again showing that he has got pace in that car, in this car. I mean, we've said it before that now and again you can change to a car and it'll be to the liking of one person more than another. This is a car that Hulkenberg at the start of this season was struggling with, and Hesselden had it named. The last 3 races, 4 races, those tables have turned, which I think could give us an absolutely fantastic race team.
Definitely in my eyes. I think, if I remember rightly, the first race of the season was Monza, was it not?
Yes.
I remember a couple of weeks ago in podium chat, Hesselden was saying that I think it was when Hulkenberg won the first race of the season, and Hesselden was going on about that he prefers tracks that are like Monza, long straights, maybe a chicane or two chucked in there for good measure, but I don't think a twisty circuit suits him at all.
Now everyone knows Hesselden's weakness, that all the picking tight twisty tracks next season.
I'll do that Sunday actually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the PCS on Sunday, I mean, that'll be an interesting race in the Aussie V8s, the Dubai Autodrome Grand Prix circuit. I'm sorry, I didn't have a drive round that particular track, because I'm not a fan of the Dubai Autodrome layouts of circuits.
I'm not either, massively.
I do know that some of the layouts of that track are evil. They have got some evil, tight, twisty quality. And something I think we may see today, guys, that the drivers are going to have to kind of be aware of is the possibility of them coming down the start-finish straight and a car coming out of the pit lane. Because I don't think the game gives you any kind of warning.
Caseley straight into the barrier there. It's coming down to the hairpin.
That's typical, isn't it? I was on board with it, I jump off board and he has a crash. And he's back to the pits.
I've sent a message.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, we could see a big crash if we do have a car coming out of the pits and a car coming down the start-finish straight close to the pit lane. And if that happens, it will be a huge crash, because one of the cars will be doing about 160 mile an hour while the other's doing about 50. Well, what do you two think the drivers are doing during this warm-up session?
I think they're sorting the fuel out and making sure they got the right tyres on. Well, I'm hoping they're sorting the fuel out anyway. If everyone runs out of fuel at last lap, I'm going to feel well bad.
It's alright, we'll make you feel even worse as well. Go on, mate, give us some grief.
Drivers are saying, don't worry, having a wee joke about it, saying tut tut, laugh out loud. But I think we'll be praying that it could survive.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the traits of Monaco, isn't it though? Survival. I mean the F1 Grand Prix was around this track very recently, and it's about survival. It's about making a few mistakes as possible. Should we talk about the Red Bull pit stop? We've only got 20 seconds.
I've never seen it.
Well, if you were watching the race, Ray, it'll probably still be pit stop will still be being done now.
Is it one of their ones then?
Well, let's put it this way. Daniel Ricciardo was on for winning the race. He went in for a pit stop. They didn't have any tyres ready for him.
Here we go.
Yep. Okay, 15 seconds then to the start of the race. Gavin, predictions.
I want to say Hulkenberg, but something's making me say Casely.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Potentially Casely. What about you, Ray? Going for the underdog in the time twister circuits. Again, the lights are on. They'll see go green. The driver make their way to the first corner. And we'll try and do that as well, because chances are there's going to be one hell of a crash up there. Everybody managed to get through, but Wallace is into the barrier on the way up the hill. Hesselden still fourth, David Hart third. And now into the tricky part of the circuit where they could end up with the car.
Duoffing into the barrier, just having a look at the back of the wall.
Hulkenberg leading the race then with K-Slate right behind him, and Rose Hairpin is a part of the circuit where at the start of the race we could end up with a car park. K-Slate's gone deep, that gives Dave half a chance, but he can't take it. It's getting busy a little further down. Neotic under pressure from 10th field but not able to go.
Davey hanging on to the back of the record in here. Come on, Richard Davey. What? Looks very skittish at the front end.
Maybe very skittish at the rear end as well. Don't really want this Richard Davey chasing you around the Monaco circuit, because if there is half a gap, he's going to go for it. Hesselden knows it, he's most defensive into to back.
No, Hulkenberg is pulling away now. He's got clean air and he's making full advantage of it.
They needed that on the opening lap, they didn't. Needed to open up a little bit of a gap so he
Dave the half.
doesn't have to pull.
All over the back of Casely.
Sideways, not able to get through though, although they may have run down into turn one. It's going to be close. Hesselden goes. He's going to be very tired, but Hesselden manages to stay ahead. Yeah, for Hulkenberg, that opening lap absolutely crucial. He needed to get a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, I think just clipping the barrier on the exit of the first corner.
We are going to see a lot of that. Joy Fins in 8th. Where's 10th Fear gone? 10th Fear's in the pit lane. That potentially for damage or for a little bit of fuel. Okay, let's get back up to the closest battle, I think, is Richard Davey and Hesselden. Having said that, as the Constantino effect, I was going to say that. I mean, it could be a Constantino effect, or it could be that K-Slay is getting closer to Hulkenberg.
Well, I'm going to say, I'm going to achieve stretches out. Yeah.
6/10 now.
Half it. Yeah.
Well, maybe now that K-Slay hasn't got David Hart all over his rear wing, it's allowing K-Slay to focus on looking forward, not backwards, because as we can see with Hesselden, if you're having to defend, it costs you time.
K-Slay's the man on the move at the minute.
Temperatures will take, I mean, that's something that's a good point actually, Ray. I mean, Hulkenberg's tyre temperatures in qualifying kicked in straight away, first lap. So for him, the opening lap would have been quite a comfortable one. For K-Slay, perhaps need to get them all to temperature. And same for David Hart and Hesselden. Now, Gavin, you were about to say something a moment ago. Crack on, my friend.
Yeah, you've got on the last lap, K-Slay was 4 tenths faster in the first sector.
Right up his backside, sorry.
He was nearly...
I think there may have been a little bit of contact. Dave's not going past him, which would suggest that perhaps there was a bit of contact.
That's probably right in the back of these two now.
Hasselden. Yep, Hasselden looking, he's looking to gain. I tell you what, Ray, I'm guessing Dave had a fantastic exit out of the first corner to get up alongside on the run-up Bowman Barge.
Yeah. He was right there, halfway up the hill.
We know that what that's done now, that's given Hulkenberg even more of a gap up at the front, and it's closed up 3rd, 4th and 5th. Casely, I think, has just clipped the barrier again.
But Temp Fear just tried to make a move. Oh, roll out as the exit.
He's just wedged Dave the Harp up into the sky. And Andy Russell, he's just clipped the barrier behind them. I'm not surprised that that happened, because as he approached the chicane, Wally would have seen. I think he was just trying to get off the ground there. I think Andy may have a bit of damage. Yeah, Andy would have been coming down the hill. He's definitely got damage on that car.
Lots of damage.
Slow down, Andy, get it to the pits. Otherwise, Leoti's going to catch you quick.
Maybe in bad shape.
Even more damage. There's a little bit of contact. And now Duofin's got the difficulty of trying to get past him, but Andy has really got no control over his car here. Caselay's in the pits. He must have had damage. But that has freed up Richie Davey now into 2nd place. He's on his way down.
Okay,
Richie Davey in the back.
Yeah. Just what to say it. Yeah, Richie Davey hit the barrier as he came around the right left-hander as he come up the top of the hill. Just probably outbraked himself, I would say.
Well, some fortune and misfortune for the leader of the race there. Caseley, who was chasing him, it's because he's got the damage, he's had to pit, so that's freed up Hulkenberg. But with David Harp and Hesselden having their crash and spin, Hulkenberg could have done with Caseley still being in 2nd place. Because now Hesselden is still running in 4th, but Caseley, he's come out of the pits in 7th place and he's got Duofin ahead of him.
All the lifetime screens seem to have gone a bit mental.
Okay, I won't ask you about giving us a run through the lap time, unless you can do it, Ray.
A 132.3 for James Hulkenberg. A 134 for Richie Davey, Dave the Harp 140, Hesselden a 144, Neotech a 137.2, Duofin a 138.5. Oh, Duofin's changed place. Caseley was a 154. Tep Fear a 138, Andy Russell with his long lap to the pits, 219, and Mulhouse had to go to the pits for 236.
Oh dear, so 4 laps into the race then, and the grid's getting mixed up. I tell you what, Neotig, he's got Andy Russell right behind him, he's just come out of the pits, so Andy a lap down then, Neotig up to 5th place, Hesselden 4th, trying to chase Dave the Harp. There's a bit of a gap between them. Dave looks like he may be closing the gap now to Richie Davey a little bit, and he is slightly faster on lap time, so that's a battle brewing we'll have to keep an eye on. Something we'll have to try and potentially work out as well is stint lengths.
Oh, I'd love to hazard a guess, but I'd probably be wrong.
I'll tell you what, we've got a right battle now. Caseley has managed to get ahead of Andy Russell. He's now right on the back of Neotig going through the tunnel. Now, usually throughout the course of this season, stints or the races, as Neotig goes deep, that's going to give Caseley half a chance, but he's kind of had to back out of it. He's now on the power. Can he get ahead into Tabac? He can. So Caseley moves up to 5th place and is on a charge.
Hesselden passed his first sector with a 26-0. There's a man on the move.
Okay, so Hesselden finding some pace now. 2 and 3 stop races is what we've been seeing this season, and Monaco usually isn't that aggressive on tyres, so I think we could be in for a 2-stop race this evening, unless someone fancies trying to take it for a 1-stop.
Be a brave person, whoever is there, to pull that one off.
If anyone can do it, I'm sure Duofin can do it. He usually looks after his tyres.
One-stop specialist.
He definitely is. So Caseley, I think his last lap was a 132.2. Either that was his previous best, but he's pulling away from Neotig. And Hesselden is not that far ahead, considering that Caseley has made a pit stop. Now, Richie Davey and David Hart. Dave's really trying to close that gap in. I'm not sure he's closing in as much as he would want to, but you can see Richie Davey on the straights.
Having a quick look up and down the grid, see if anything's going on. Nothing as yet. Boom.
So
the
Nouveau chicane power boost penalty for him as well. And Woolhouse laps himself. Nicely done. We've lost a driver from the race already.
First with a personal best, sector 2. It was 32.7.
Andy Russell is out of the race, but yet Caseley is on a charge. Is this going to be a new personal best lap? It is a 31.7. He's really going for it now.
Sorry guys, I was logging into YouTube on my laptop to keep up with this spectators.
Richie Davey, he must have gone for a pit stop. He's down in 5th place. He's either had a pit stop or he's had a crash. I would guess it's a pit stop because he is now down in 5th place. Caseley's in 4th, a little bit ahead of him. I'll tell you what, Dave Hesselden and Caseley are going to get very close together. For saying that, I mean, Richie Davey, he's not that far away from the back of Caseley now. Well, if Richie's
Caseley is 5 seconds, 6 seconds behind Hesselden.
Okay. Well, for Richie Davey, if his tyres are only lasting, what, 6 laps, he's in for about an 18-stop race.
Never just stay in the pit.
Duofin's in 6th with Neotig in 7th, so those two have swapped places. I wonder if Neotig has made a stop or whether he's been struggling in a few more corners. The Nouveau chicane, the one he's coming up to now, is one that he really has found difficult to get the car slowed down for. He was okay on this occasion though, so maybe it was the warm tyres as Temp Fiat comes out of the pits, and I think he may have just been lapped by James Hulkenberg. No, he hasn't. Hulkenberg's down at Lowe's hairpin. The gap between 2nd and 3rd seems to be opening up a little bit. 3rd and 4th, I think he's coming down a little bit. Richie Davey in 5th has got Temp Fiat ahead of him, who's getting out of the way. That's the situation he's not used to, being blue flagged.
You must not be liking it then. Blue flag situations of the shouting and bawling.
He's probably asking his engineer, what are them? I've not seen them before, what does that mean?
Caseley's get closer to Hesselden 2 seconds. Oh no, that's changed, hasn't it? Caseley was in 4th, was it not?
No, Caseley was in 4th.
He was, yeah.
Woolhouse's race is over. He's into the garage. That's race done for him. Unfortunately for Woolhouse, race only lasting 8 laps, or at least 8 laps. Let's see, Hesselden and Caseley. This gap is coming down. If you guys, one of you guys could give us an exact timeline, I've got a feeling it's about 3.5, 4 seconds.
Oh, my live gapping has gone mental. Honestly, this app is insane. It was working perfectly fine half an hour ago.
Oh, mine's is working fine. Exactly.
At least someone did.
What was the gap you were looking for?
Give us some gaps. 1st to 2nd.
1st to 2nd is 13 seconds. Second, from Dave to Hesselden at 5. From Hesselden to Caseley at 4. From Caseley to Richie Davey at 6. for Richard Davey to dual Finn at 24, Troy dual Finn to Neil Tig gets 9, and then to 33 from Neil Tig is 1 minute and 8 seconds.
So not quite a lap then, but Casely definitely catching Hesselden. But remember folks, Hesselden has not stopped yet. Hulkenberg has not stopped yet. David Harp hasn't stopped yet. So Casely's strategy may have been compromised, having to make that stop for damage, but what it is allowing is for him to be the fastest guy on the circuit, I believe, and closing in the gap. And if I try and work out the maths, I mean, if Hulkenberg pits, I think he will come out possibly between Casely and Richie Davey. So, in a way, Hulkenberg will not want to stop until sort of Hesselden and David Harp have already pitted, so that he doesn't get held up at all.
Richard Davies last lap was going 42.2. I don't know if he's got the hammer down compared to the other guys. He's going green at a minute by 2 seconds.
I'll tell you what, last lap, Hulkenberg at 34, Dave Hart 34, Hesselden 35.6, Casely at 34.0, Richie Davey at 32.2, so Richie is closing in on this third place battle, and Casely was a second and a half faster on the previous lap. And he's now on the back of Hesselden. And there's Richie Davey.
Seems to have a lot more grip as well, this Casely. But as for the leader, he's long gone.
Yeah, well, he's not getting much TV time as Hulkenberg, but that's what happens sometimes when you run away. But yeah, I mean, Monaco, catching's one thing, overtaking, whole different story.
Most definitely. Most definitely, especially cleanly.
Hesselden seems to be struggling with traction out of the Nebo chicane, so maybe that's where Casely's advantage will be. Perhaps get a good one out of the final corner. Anthony knows.
We've got the run.
Around the outside into the Raskas. That's third place for Casely. I think Hesselden may be going for the pits, may have a little bit of damage. No, he's continuing on. But that's, well, we were talking about how difficult it is to overtake around here, and Casely does it within a lap of catching him.
Made it look simple.
Oh yes. Now it's Richie Davey's turn, because he's, like Ray said, he's been on a bit of a charge.
Interesting to see if Casely can manage to take the time out of David Harp. He's not a million miles behind him.
I think Hesselden's struggling. It could be tyre wear. He's just clipped the barrier. You're right though about David Hart not being that far ahead of Casely, because there is Casely, and there's Hesselden, and Richie Davey is within about a second of him. Hesselden is definitely struggling in the slow corners.
Cody's had these adversaries, 10 pressures are too high. It's just hitting the rear ends too quick.
It could well be. We'll see if Richie's going to have a better run up down here out of the Nebo chicane.
A lot tighter on the chicane. Tight.
Side by side into Tabak is not what he really wants to do. It can be done, but Hesselden's into the barrier again. That's giving Richie a couple of gaps to look at.
Richie Davis losing a bit of time here behind him.
He is. He's got much. I mean, this is showing as well the tyres, the fresher tyres make it, and there we go, Hesselden into the pits. He could tell he was losing a bucket load of time there, or we should say a boatload of time really, seeing as we're at Monaco. So David Hart's continuing on. How's Hulkenberg looking? Is he looking like he's going to be needing a new set of tyres soon?
Not that I can tell, just pondering around, keeping his gap, loving life.
He's got the last time I looked he was what, 14 seconds, he's up to 16, so he's still going.
He's not far off having a pit stop in the bag. Next battle potentially is Richie Davey, 4th place, on Casely in 3rd. But I mean, for the likes of Hulkenberg and perhaps David Hart now, David Hart's got to be careful of these guys that are on screen catching him. because they are on flasher tyres. For Hulkenberg, his challenge is a completely different one now. He's got a bit of a lonely race. He's out in the lead, he's got a gap. He can't go and do a Senna. If he's in the zone now, he's got to stay in the zone. He can't go thinking about the women jumping up and down on the yachts next to the track. He can't go thinking, oh, I need the toilet, or anything like that. He can't go thinking, wow, Ray's little dog makes a lot of noise. So for Hulkenberg, his challenge is a mental one now.
Yeah, but as is proved in previous races, he's more than capable of that.
Richie Davies just had a bit of a sideways moment, cost him a little bit of time. Hesselden and Pitter come back out in 5th.
But Richard's holding it there, he's down to 2 seconds now. Even though he was held up behind Hesselden, he's
Hulkenberg pitted.
You're right, Hulkenberg has pitted, so he's made his stop and he's come out right ahead of Kay Slade. So
not far behind Dave either.
No, he's not. But that's the gap that Kay Slade is kind of closed in. Both of them having now made one stop. But Hulkenberg on much fresher tyres. Now let's see. Hulkenberg's done what? 12 laps on that set of tyres. So we could be on for Hulkenberg doing another 2 or 3 stops really. If he does another 12 laps, that takes him to 20 laps remaining. So 2 more stops for Hulkenberg makes a 3-stop race.
Mixing it up a bit. What lap was it that Dave pitted on?
Dave's not pitted.
Has he not pitted yet?
No. This is costing Dave the Harp. Staying out as long as he is costing him, but it's Monaco. So he might be costing him now, but he might be benefiting him later on.
Is that the way that he's going to be thinking about it?
I bet your opponent's in the pits this lap.
Big spender.
I'll tell you why. Hulkenberg will be on the radio.
He's out.
And he's not pitting.
Staying out. Very slow that final corner.
He's not defending though.
No.
That was a great scene. That was team orders.
I wouldn't say it was team orders. I think that was potentially a you're on much fresher tyres, you're faster than me. There is absolutely no point me holding you up. I mean, personally, yeah, he could have defended that one and made him work for it. But he's got to think about Kay Slade, who is right behind him now.
But for Hulkenberg, was there any chance that Casey Hulkenberg could have contact or anything? So I could be even Scotsman and go, that kind of getting past, I don't care what
Very
happens.
deep there by Dave. Into the chicane. The hairpin, sorry.
Hesselden is quite a way off this leading quintet of drivers.
18 seconds.
See now, you can see the difference in speed between Hulkenberg and Dave the Harp as Kay Slade nearly hits the back end. Dave the Harp there, Kay Slade on the better tyres. Power boost penalty is now down to 4th place as Richie Davey drives on by. I think that might be a big power boost penalty. It was. That's unfortunate for Kay Slade there. He had to take evasive, otherwise he was going to be sending Dave the Harp to the moon.
With a taste of arm go barrier to go with it.
So go on, right.
So if Richard Davey catches up with Dave the Harp, this is going to be fun, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yes, there is a bit of a rivalry between these two guys.
Casey in the pits.
Okay, so Kay Slade having stopped then, this is his second stop. Hesselden is going to take the position. So I think Kay Slade pitted at the end of the 2nd lap. I think he was 2nd or 3rd lap. So Kay Slade's looking at doing about 10 laps per set of tyres. And there is Hesselden moving up the position. So Kay Slade potentially got another 2 stops to do as well. But really he could do with taking this set of tyres. Well, even if it takes them long, he's still got 2 stops to do. David Harp, he's struggling though on his very warm tyres. They've done 14 laps. Oh, I know what his plan is. if he pits at the end of this lap, doing 15-15. But looking at how slow he's going at the moment and how much he's into the barriers, I don't think he's going to work. Because Richie Davey is on him.
He got the grip to brake. Ooh. Richie Davey running deep into there. But still, so much faster than David Hart.
It's so easy to do around this circuit though. The guy ahead brakes a little later than his car really can handle. You follow them, and even though you've got the better tyres, you pretty much do exactly the same as they do. So, is Dave going to pick this lap? I already know Gavin one panel, but he is in this lap. And Richie Davies following him.
That's a strange decision.
So that's Richie Davies' second stop. So 14 laps, Richie Davies done 2 stops. Richie must be absolutely killing his tyres. Hesselden is potentially going to overtake the both of them. The question is, will K-Slay, has he had an undercut here?
It's going to be close with K-Slay and the 2 in the pits. It's coming down
Is
straight
this where
now.
we're going to see the pit lane crash? No, K-Slay spotted them. He's ahead of Richie Davey. It's side by side with David Hart into the first corner.
Did you see that Neil Tig spinning?
Two completely different sort of stories for Neo Tig last weekend over North Circuit. Absolutely on it here in Monaco. Not like that at all. But K-Slay, he'll be frustrated that David Harper's managed to stay ahead of him and is on new tyres now as well. It looks like the clouds have come over a little bit too, which could help the drivers with their tyre temperatures, tyre pressures. I mean, do you think the weather will have much of an effect here in Monaco?
I would imagine that the weather and cloud cover would have more dramatic influences on the Friday car as to what it does on the Sunday car, for instance. And it has pretty insane results on a Sunday. You just burn the tyres up if you hammer them.
Oh, Richie Davey, he's had a moment. He's dropped off the back of K-Slay. K-Slay's looking very, very eager to get past David Hart. Ray, any chance you could let us know what the gap is between first and second place at the moment?
24 seconds.
Something's happened to Richie Davey. He's out of the race. He's out of the race.
So he is.
Oh dear, oh dear. I saw him have a bit of a moment in the swimming pool. Maybe he forgot his trunk and he's been kicked out of the pool. But he's no longer in this race, which is an absolute shame because he was about to, well, he was on the back of this 2-car train that is now catching up to Hesselden, who is running in second place. So second, third, fourth, still going at it.
Okay, so the man on the charge, fastest personal best first sector, 26-0.
Yeah, Dave put the barrier on the onto the Portier, gave K-Slay half a chance of having a look. Not able to do it. It's a fantastic battle going on around the Monaco circuit. Apologies to those drivers who are not being caught on camera much, but this is very, very different stuff. And you can tell that Dave is under pressure because he is clipping those wheels, those rear tyres on the barriers. It's very easy to do, but if you're looking in your mirrors a lot and defending a lot, it's going to be even easier to do.
But these cars take minutes. I never used them.
But these two guys are catching up to Hesselden, who's in second place.
And West in second. So this will be good. Down the hairpin, I think.
They've got away from K-Slay a little bit.
Well, from what I've been seeing, Hesselden is struggling in the corners. And that's not what you want around this track, because it's all pretty much corners. Hesselden now having to go defensive. And I was going to say, if you're in Dave's situation, oh, it's just hit the barrier again. Here comes Casey. He's got a better run on him through the tunnel. Side by side. Oh, Casey wiggling as he takes the tighter line. Side by side on the exit of the tunnel. Can Dave keep it on the inside into the Mimbo chicane? He tries, he does. He manages to hold the position.
Great move.
Great driving from the both of them there. So difficult to get these cars through the tunnel on your own, let alone drive this side by side. Oh, Neo-Tig just ahead of Hesselden here. He's not far off getting lapped by these guys. He's going to have to think about just getting out of the way on the start-finish straight, I think. It'll be the best thing for him to do. As Dave is right on the back of Hesselden. He's got a good run on him, and there is Neo-Tig. Fantastic by Neo-Tig there, getting completely out of the way. That earns much more respect than a fantastic overtake as Hesselden runs a little bit deep in turn one. Dave's got a run on him. Dave passed him.
Is K-Slay coming?
You're right, K-Slay. He will be frustrated. He's been following Dave for a few laps now, unable to get past him. Dave catches Hesselden and sneaks through straight away.
Let him get away.
Well, you'll notice it was on the exit of the corner. I mean, struggling at the apex of the corner for Hesselden, and then exit of the corner. The speed just wasn't there for him. This is absolutely gripping stuff here.
Fascinating little battle this. James Hulkenberg, I'm assuming.
Hesselden's in the barrier, and Casey sneaks through. Right, Neo-Tig, now you can go and put salt in the wound, and you can go and lap yourself on Hesselden.
Is it getting darker and darker? It's not like Scottish weather up here, sunny and sunburnt. I am, but Oracle seems a wee bit colder than me.
It's definitely not as sunny as it was through qualifying at the start of the race, but as I say that, in the second part of the swimming finish again, the sun is still beaming down on the track a little bit. But yeah, you're right, throughout the rest of the circuit it does look like it's got a little bit darker. Rascats and Anthony Nose is in the sunshine. And Casey now, he's got the target of David Harp ahead of him. And Hesselden looks like he is struggling. Neo-Tig, who is actually in 5th place but is a lap down, has the potential now to catch him up. Joyfin, who's running in 6th place, I'm not sure if he's pitted yet. I think it's fair to say, folks, he hasn't. And we've lost another driver from the race, so we're down now to 6 runners in this race. What else was the last one to disconnect, I think. So, take a breather for a moment. 24 laps plus the one that they are on to go. Hulkenberg out in the lead, just needs to take it to the end, but the battle of interest is for 2nd place.
10th here.
10th here, yes, you're right there, Ray. He wasn't showing me 10th here's name on my screen.
Hesselden all over the place. Just on the entrance to the tunnel, just the car just spat him off to the right hand side of the track, and he had to brake to avoid the arm car.
So not going well for Hesselden, but we were saying this last Friday around Nordschleife, where Hesselden was in 4th place, Hulkenberg was in 1st place, and yeah, we thought we knew what was going to happen. Hesselden somehow won the race. So this is far from over as Casey and Dave Hart get close and Dave's into the barrier again. This is, I mean, it's been a fantastic gripping battle. Hesselden not going for the pit lane, which I'm kind of a little bit surprised about, but he does need to stretch the tyres out as best as possible.
Yeah, and Richard Davey lost connection, that's why he disappeared.
Oh dear, unfortunate for Richie, because he would have been right in the middle of this fight for 2nd place. Because I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Richard Davey was right behind Casey, if I remember rightly, so he would have pretty much followed Dave and Casey past Hesselden. He would be on this charge. I mean, I think it's fair to say, unless Hulkenberg makes an absolute dog's dinner of the rest of the race, we're not going to catch him.
Duo Finn using the arm car to the top of the hill to get him round the corner. And put Neo-Tig right on the back of him.
Okay, so Neotic, I'm guessing, has made a pit stop then, unless Joyfin has just caught him and overtaken him. So we have got another battle going on. Ray or Gavin, if one of you would like to keep an eye on that battle for second place while we watch Neotic and Joyfin go into it.
Okay, so they're having a little look up into Rascas, but not being able to make it move. Start finish. Dave got that gap just under a second as he come over the start finish.
Neotic here, he's getting a little bit racy. He was looking over the inside into the Nouveau chicane, but the gap not quite there for him to go for the move. Joyfin did give him the space though, probably for self-preservation rather than giving him room. Oh, Joyfin's got a little bit wider, there's a little bit of lagging there as well. Neotic waiting for him, but Joyfin testing out the Tech Pro barrier there, so we'll go back to the battle for second and third place. So, is there anywhere, Gavin, that you can spot that Dave is quicker than K-Slay or K-Slay is quicker than Dave?
K-Slay is faster in the first sector. That is pretty much all that separates them. I'd say it's about 4/10. That could have been down to clipping the Anchor on any exit. It's so tight between them.
Well, I think what this could come down to is K-Slay could potentially be pitting again in 2 or 3 laps time. Dave the Harp might not be pitting for another 8-9 laps. So K-Slay may have to sort of make his additional stop and absolutely rip the rubber off those rear tyres to try and gain as much time as he can while Dave's tyres are warm.
Heselden in the pits.
Okay, so he's going to have another stop to do. Is he going to come out anywhere near Neotic and Joyfin? Oh, Dave's got wide at the top of the hill. Manages to avoid the barrier though. Well, that Dave keeps showing K-Slay where he may be able to attack him, but it's risky around this track as Dave's going defensive again into Mirabeau. But I'm just wondering if K-Slay could perhaps chuck it up the inside into lows at any point. I mean, Dave is he's not really been defending the inside line into the hairpin.
He seems to go away from the hairpin, he doesn't seem to keep it nice and tight around the corner.
But it could be that he's just given a
understeer problem.
But it could be understood, it could be leaving a bit of room in case K-Slay does decide to throw it at the inside, but I mean, it's one of those, a move there can be done, but it's not easy to do, you've got to be really close. It's a little bit like, if you're going to overtake into the Nouveau chicane, or the Harbour chicane as I like to call it, you kind of have to, on the exit of Portier, be close enough to know at that point, right, I'm going for it this lap, but K-Slay's into the pits. Right, this is the time for K-Slay to absolutely abuse those tyres without abusing the barriers.
He's trying the undercut. Be interesting to see if he can pull it off.
Well, it's an undercut, but it's going to have another stop to do as well. So Dave, I think, is going to be going for at least another 6, maybe 7 laps. So K-Slay kind of needs to be going 1-2 seconds a lap faster throughout his stint. He needs to get ahead of him. I mean, when Dave pits, K-Slay needs to be ahead of him so that he can make the most of the gap. Because if Dave pits and Dave is ahead, then K-Slay's opportunity to pull away and get his last pit stop in is out the window.
As Joe Flynn and pick for position. My tablets went dead, so I can't see.
Let's see, I think it is. Yes, it is. Neotic and Joyfin is for position. They are both 2 laps down, but they are battling each other for 5th place at the moment. And Joyfin is behind Neotic, so after they had a little bit of a coming together. I would guess the Neo together through, but Joyfin's got a run on him. Can he make a move into the first corner? No, he can't. Neotig's got good straight line speed.
Yeah, Geofin seems to be keeping it tight in the corners, where Neotig's taking it a wee bit wider.
I think in a way that's a telltale sign of running less aerodynamics around this track. Neotig trying to take a tight line.
They both hit the barrier there.
I tell you what, I would not want the job of going around this track after the race and putting a little painted mark. Oh, Joyfin round the outside of Lowe's. Can he get all the way round? He can. What a move! But he's now got a tight line around Middleboat into Portier.
That's fantastic driving there. That is fantastic.
That is fantastic driving. Not only that, the line he took around Portier kept it very tight. Meant Neotig couldn't go for an undercut on him or switch back on him. Beautiful driving from Joyfin. He's now going defensive into the Nouveau chicane and he needs to.
Casely now getting the hammer down. First sector 25.9. Dave the Hart's last lap first sector was a 27.0.
Also 1.1 seconds in that first sector. And that 1.1 seconds is effectively enough to get Casely ahead when Dave makes his stop. So if he can continue that going, he will be ahead. Joyfin just opened up a little bit of a gap on Neotig through the corners. As Ray said, Joyfin down a tighter line through the corners. See how we get on, heading up the hill. Neotig's had a good corner there. He's got a good run up the hill. He may have a look. Joyfin, is he covering it off? He is. He's not having any of it, and I don't blame him. After making an overtake like he did, he's not going to want to just be driven past up the hill. Neotig's clipped the barrier. Joyfin's clipped the barrier. To get us some more paint out.
Casely with the fastest lap of his race with a 1:31.1.
He is absolutely flying. Absolutely flying. David Hart's got to be thinking about making his final pit stop, but he can't do it for 14 laps remaining. 15 to push.
I'm not sure. He's definitely going to have to pit again.
He lost it under braking there. He lost that big time under braking. But respect to him, he hasn't made the move. He's let Joyfin continue on. Let's go and catch
Hulkenberg in.
You're right, Hulkenberg is in the pits. So he will have another stop to do, I believe. But he has effectively got a pit stop window available to him.
And the gap is now 11 seconds between Casely and Dave the Hart. That's come down by over 4.5 seconds in about a lap and a half.
Casely he is giving it absolutely everything in this stint of the race, and he needs to. He needs to be ahead of Dave when he pits. If he doesn't, he's got no chance of taking that second place. Look at how Dave's getting on his tyres. It almost looks like he's trying to take it a little bit cautiously through the corners. And it's not surprising his tyres will be struggling.
Okay, so just coming into the casino square now. Just coming down the hill. Flying.
If you're in Casely's seats right now, what's going through your mind? Are you loving this?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, his car looks set up, it looks planted, it looks like he's enjoying himself, and especially he's absolutely ripping time out of Dave. I'm pretty much nailing on Casely settling for nothing else but second place, if not first in this race.
Okay, so if you're Dave the Hart and you're in his seat, are you loving this?
Not particularly, because you've been chased down, and you can see that little red clock at his bottom left.
Oh, Neil touched the barrier. He's right up behind Joyfin. The gear right hit the barrier and he's off. Got a lot of time.
You're right, he has there, right? So Lunatic and Joyful still kind of going at it at the moment, but Lunatic struggling a little bit. He's into the barrier again. I think he may be close to pit stop time for him. Hesselden, we've not covered Well,
I think he's pushing too hard because I was watching him and he was gaining and gaining because you can see he's back up behind Joe Finn again. Near enough, he's not that far back compared to what he was. I think he's... Oh, somebody's hit the barrier, big style, I've just seen a screenshot. So I think Neil Tig's the fastest driver out of the two of them at the moment of time.
I tell you what though, they've got a little bit of a problem, and that is that Dave the Harp is closing in on them. Now they'll have to hope that it's going to take him another 2 or 3 laps to actually get onto the back of them. But if Dave does catch Neotic, all he's got to do is let Dave through and follow him. And then when Joyfin has to let him through, overtake him.
Was it James that hit the barrier because he's got a wee bit of wiggle going on?
Let's go and have a look, shall we?
He's not coming in.
No, he's continuing on. He's continuing on. He's a wee bit of wiggle going on. I thought somebody hit the barrier, I don't know what it was.
If it was James, he's not causing any issues. I'd say out of the cars on track, it was possibly Dave the Harp. He's got very, very worn tyres at the moment. And I tell you what, Gavin was on about that gap coming down between Dave and Caseley. Caseley can now see him.
The last lap by James Hulkenberg was a 1 minute 30.881. That's a stonking lap around here.
That's faster enough than everybody else's qualifying at the time.
Even though it's so, I mean, he's 20 seconds ahead now, and he's still on it. He's so confident.
Well, I mean, you have to be around this track though. I mean, if you're in that situation, well, as I mentioned earlier, you can't afford to lose concentration for a split second. As Neotic has now got David Hart right up behind him, and he does let him through. He's letting Caseley through as well. He's got that a little bit wrong as Neotic there. He's let him through, but he's had to stop the car because otherwise he's going to hit the barrier. But David Hart's just clipped the barrier, and that's going to allow Caseley to close the gap. Now, both of these guys are going to have one more stop to do. I tell you what, if Caseley can overtake Dave before they make their pit stops, that'll work wonders for him. I mean, this just goes to show, I mean, it's been what, 4 laps since Caseley pitted?
4 laps,
Dave's in the barrier! So yeah, four laps since Caseley pitted, so he's closed the pit stop time down in 4 laps.
He dares off the pits.
He is. Caseley now leads this. All of his previous laps have been absolutely on it, but this now is the important ones. He's got another, what, 4 or 5 laps on this stint. Now he needs to absolutely batter it even more than he already has done.
Just going to keep an eye on his sector times.
Now Hesselden's going to pass Dave the Harp. So Hesselden now up to 3rd place, but with a stop to do. So Hesselden may not be out of this battle yet, you know. Okay, Dave is now on the move. Joyfin's 5th. Neotic is coming out of the pits in 6th.
Caseley is not setting any on fire sector 1 times.
Well, I suppose the important bit is whether he's going to be setting faster ones than Dave the Harp, but unfortunately for Caseley, the car behind him is Hesselden, so if that gap opens up, it doesn't necessarily mean the gap to Dave the Harp is opening up.
This is true.
However, we've got Gavin and Ray smashing their timing screens to make sure they work properly, who can see what the gaps are, so they'll be able to keep us informed.
Hulkenberg just done another fastest lap, a 1:30.862. Marginally faster, but still faster.
Well, I think it's only fair that while the cars are a little spread out at this time, we'll put the camera on Hulkenberg and watch him crash, because that's probably what will happen.
Oh, Esselden into the barrier on the exit of Raskas.
I mean, it has been a very difficult event for Esselden. I mean, do you think, Gavin, that it is just simply down to it is the nature of the circuits, the tighter, the twistier ones, is just they don't necessarily suit him as much as the faster ones do?
I think that may have something to do with it. I don't think it's got everything which to do with it. He may have a setup on the car which he genuinely thought was a good setup, and then, as has happened in the previous 2 races, James Hulkenberg has come out on fire.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't go dancing around the pit lane like Shake and Bake did when he thought he was on fire. I mean, look, I couldn't remember the film, my apologies. I've got people thinking now as well, what film is that? Oh,
Can't guess.
That was Will Ferrell.
You know what film it is, though?
I can't remember the name of it.
You can't remember the name of the film? It's Shake and Bake.
No.
Talladega Nights.
There you go. There you go. Well done. Okay, something I am going to mention though, as Hulkenberg is still pounding around the circuit. His tyres are looking a little bit warm, but he's got a pit stop gap in his pocket effectively. The last 2 circuits of this season, Catalonia, which is high speed, but also got some twisty sections. That'll be an interesting one. That's one where Hesselden could be mighty fast in sector 1 and 2, but Hulkenberg could be fast in sector 2 and 3. So that'll be an interesting one. And then the final race of the season is at Imola.
Imola will be an interesting race.
Yeah, it will be. Okay, what have we got? K-Slate still going around the circuit. He's going to have a duo fin now. And K-Slate's probably got another, well, this and 2 laps to go on his tyres. Hesselden's in 3rd, David Harp's 4th. Have we got a gap between 2nd and 3rd, and the gap between 3rd and 4th?
Between 2nd and 3rd it's 18.8 seconds. Between 4th and 3rd it is 7.1 and coming down rapidly.
So we're looking at 25-second gap now between K-Slate and Dave the Harp.
Hesselden just clipping the side on the exit of the tunnel. Hasn't helped him much.
Oh, he's struggling. He struggled on the exit of the Nouveau chicane. And we can see Dave the Harp in the background. I think Hesselden may be making another pit stop very, very soon.
Jason spun it at the last section just before the pit stops. Pit lane, sorry, pit stops.
You confused me for a moment, mate. It's not Jason, it's Duo Finn, but yes, he did.
Okay. I just seen
Dave
you
the Harp.
drive.
Dave Harp's going slow. Dave had a pit boost penalty.
Hesselden in. This has got to be for his final stop.
Tex clipped the barrier. He was facing her wrong way.
Okay, Gavin spotted that Hesselden's in the pits, and he is. Dave the Hart moves up. Neo Tig, as Ray spotted, has hit the barrier, had a bit of a spin, but he is continuing on. He's in 6th place. He made a pit stop a while ago, so himself and Duo Finn could still come close to each other as they get to the end of the race.
I'm looking forward to when Dave the Hart pits next. See where K-Slate is.
Yeah, well, for the first time now, K-Slate will know it's Dave the Hart behind him and what the gap is between them.
Yeah.
And I think K-Slate may be in the pits this lap.
And I think he may come out in front of him. It's 27.4 seconds.
That should be enough. I mean, if you were K-Slate, would you be perhaps tempted to go in a lap earlier than you have on previous runs? He's in
now.
the pits.
I would be, yeah. Purely just to give you that extra lap in case you needed it.
Yeah. Because at the end of the stint, you've got your tyres going off, and if you put fresh tyres on, you can perhaps attack. But now the focus is on Dave the Hart. Is K-Slate going to be ahead when Dave the Hart gets around the start-finish line?
K-Slate's on the move.
Another car in the pits. I think Duo Finn has just pitted as well.
Yeah, K-Slate comfortably out.
The gap is huge. That's great driving by Casely. That is absolutely fantastic driving.
About 8 seconds ahead.
8 seconds ahead and fresher tyres by 4 laps.
Yeah, he's done very, very well there.
So, can he catch Hulkenberg?
I very, very much doubt it. There's 54 seconds between them. Hulkenberg in now.
Yeah, so that's going to come down by a good 20 seconds or so, but are we now then in the phase of the race with what will be 10 laps to go of who can get fastest lap, Hulkenberg or Casely?
I don't want to say.
So I'm trying to think back
You
to...
commentate Chris Bowman and comment level.
Hulkenberg's been absolutely untouchable today.
He has just driven away with this so far.
Go on, they're waiting for you to curse Casely.
I
Final
think
corner.
James Hulkenberg would get the fastest lap.
I think Casely is going to get it. I actually think Hulkenberg, with his brand new tyres now, less fuel in the car, I think there's a possibility we could see him getting to the 29s. But it's a case of, does he need to? And the answer is no, he doesn't. But
Does he want to?
personal pride,
Of course he does.
I think, does he want? Oh, yeah, he does, because he's pushing it hard. He's just gone deep at the Nouveau chicane. He's pushing. He's trying to improve on his previous fastest lap.
Casely with the purple first sector, 25.9.
See how he gets on with the second sector. Oh dear. So Neotig is out of the race. If we lose 2 more, our prediction one will be right from before they came live. Or we could end the race with more commentators than drivers. But in Monaco, it does have a high attrition rate. We said at the start, Monaco is a race of survival. And it's proving to be once again.
Heselden found a bit of pace all of a sudden. First sector was 25.6.
Heselden did pit a couple of laps ago, so the tyres will be coming up to temperature now. Casely's about to cross the line. He doesn't improve on his previous best yet.
There's only 10 seconds between Heselden and Dave the Harp. There's only 11 seconds between Dave the Harp and Casely.
Heselden could catch Dave? Because, I mean, Dave's on a 15-lap stint here. His tyres will red.
I think so. I do think so. I think look out for the last 4, maybe 3 laps. It's going to be interesting.
Well, Heselden's just done a 131.768. And Dave the Harp's last lap was a 134.3. So, yeah, that could get close. I don't know if Dave's sort of just settling in now, thinking the 3rd place is the best I'm going to get. But he can't afford to back off too much. Hulkenberg, I mean, he's got a massive lead. He's crossed the start-finish line already. The Casely's only up to back.
Heselden has taken a second. Oh no, he's just got it back. I'm thinking Dave made a mistake at some point.
Heselden's done it. He's clipped the inside barrier at the Nouveau chicane. I think that any chance of him finishing David Harper's just gone out of the window. Finn's not that far behind him, but he is a couple of laps behind, unfortunately. So, 8 laps to go then, and we are now effectively into a fastest lap battle, which Hulkenberg is currently winning with a 130.862. And in qualifying, he got down into the 128s, so it's possible we could see him knock a second or two off the lap time. But as we have previously mentioned, he doesn't have to. I mean, in many respects, he can't afford to have to pit again. I mean, if he did have to pit again, he's got the speed effectively to recover from it. But if he has mega damage, say turn 1, or something like that, he's got a whole lap of banging the barriers. It's going to cost him big time. He's just done a 30.2. I think that shows he's definitely in the zone.
Yeah, and got the barrier second chicane. So yeah.
Last lap by Hulkenberg, 130.2.
It's alright, Gavin, you're only 20 seconds behind.
Just saw it come up purple. I thought I'd have a go.
He's about to cross the line. Can he improve on his previous best? Come on, K-Slate. No, he can't. He's on 133s at the moment. Dave has improved to 133s as well, compared to 34 on the previous lap. And what's he got this time around? It's another 134. So Hesselden, I think Hesselden has lost too much time. He's in the pits. I think he may have damage. I mean, 4th place is pretty much in the bag, so that's potentially a score the points pit stop.
.34 seconds, 35, the gap from K-Slate to Hulkenberg now.
Yeah, so Hulkenberg has got a pit stop in hand, plus a good 10-12 seconds. Now is he going to improve on his lap time again? He's not. But he has now got the bonus of, look who's right in front of him on this track. He will be loving the fact that Hesselden is only just up the road from him. Hesselden won't be loving it.
Don't invite him in there.
I tell you what though, we've seen dodgy things happen around Monaco in real life. There's nothing to say that we couldn't see some dodgy stuff here. I mean, if there happened to be a crash and Hulkenberg ended up over the fencing and in the harbour,
just letting him through.
Yeah, no funny business going on here then from Hesselden. I tell you what, that'll be painful, but that's how to deal with a blue flag situation. As I said earlier on, doing that earns more respect than pulling off the overtake of the century. Oh, Hesselden's in the barrier! He just hit a bit of the wall that steps out where the service road is. He may have damage. You're right, Dave has gone for a final pit stop. He saw that Hesselden's made his, and he's decided to make one final run as well. So Dave has a chance of going for fastest lap again, with 6 laps remaining. Hulkenberg has been massively impressive in these cars over the last 3 or 4 races. I mean, he will be absolutely gutted about, well, he was gutted about what happened at the Nordschleife, which gave Hesselden a 14-point lead. But now I'm proper going to curse things. If the positions stay as they are, Hulkenberg will be on 147 points, and Hesselden will be on 149 with 2 races to go. So
K-Slate's on the pits.
Well, he's right, K-Slate is in the pits. So Hesselden sort of triggered off a last minute dash for the pit lane here.
It was a very fast stop.
I wonder if that may have been a little splashing dash for fuel.
I would imagine so. I don't think there was any tyre change involved there.
Unless he did pick for a new set of tyres, but they haven't put them on.
Devastating if that's the case.
Oh yes. Now for Duofin, he's running in 5th place at the moment. He's been having a fantastic race. A real good battle with Neotig earlier on. But he's now got Hulkenberg closing up on him. I'm just curious. Hesselden and Duofin are not on the same lap, so I was just wondering whether Hulkenberg could perhaps just lift off the gas a little bit and sort of let Duofin drive off, let Hesselden go through and let them sort of battle things out. But they're not fighting for position. But also, I mean, how many times have we all heard the stories of telling a driver around Monaco, look, you've got it in the bag, just back it off, get to the end, and that's when the accidents can happen. If you stay on it maximum 100% or 99% of all the time on Monaco, that's what helps keep you in the zone.
Yeah, you've got to be concentrating on you at all times up until check flag really, to be honest. You're still here to race at the end of the day.
Oh yes. And Duofin does move out of the way. And just having a look at what the points positions will do for K-Slay. Currently on 99 points, so he'll score effectively 20 for 2nd place. So that'll put him on 119. David Harp, who is in 3rd place, he'll score 16 points. And that'll benefit him quite a bit. Well, they'll put him on 70. And this is where Dave could have done with a few more people finishing this race, because Duofin is ahead of David Harp in points. Duofin finishing in 5th will score 11, and that'll put him on 73. So it'll get close between Duofin and David Harp, and they will only be 6 and 7 points, about 6-7 points behind Neotig. So it's actually getting really, really close in the middle of the pack in the driver's standings. Battle up at the front. If the position stays there, I'll come down to 2 points, as I've just heard somebody giving a barrier a little bit of a Glasgow kiss, and I think it may have been Hesselden. His car's wiggling a little bit. David Hart, he's managed to get his lap times down into the 131s. He's done a 131.3. Now K-Slay, last time up, he's done a 131.1 as he improved. Well, he's still on a 131.1, but his tyres are reached temperature now. Could we have a good lap from him here? Not on this occasion. So guys, we've got 2.5 laps to go. How do you think this race has gone?
I've enjoyed it. I think it's done well. I think the drivers have had not probably the race of what they planned on having, apart from James, but entertaining.
Yeah.
I wanted more carnage, but I think I start and then just mellows down, so I put my good mood when I go to my bed, obviously.
Well, I mean, for all the drivers to get around the first corner on the first lap without any carnage is
unheard of.
Yeah, to a degree, and it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, these guys are tricky to get off the line, and with the way they go through the gears, the collisions, or somebody's hit the barrier hard somewhere. I heard that, I couldn't see it. Not hard enough for them to be facing the wrong direction. Yeah, I mean, some of the driving, the overtaking, the wheel-to-wheel racing is absolutely sublime. There have been a few incidents, we expect that.
He's got the barrier again, so I don't know if he's got damage.
Oh, he's just pushing it really, really hard. And he's got a nice healthy gap on Hesselden. Yeah, I mean, we expect a few incidents around the circuit. It's nice, it was good to see that when those incidents did occur, the drivers did the right sort of things and didn't gain from it. But for Hulkenberg, he's about to start the last lap of this race where, in many respects, he's been in a class of one. Although, it would have been so nice to see what K-Slay may have possibly been able to do had he not needed to make that very, very early pit stop. it put him on a strategy that effectively made his race very, very difficult, but made it absolutely entertaining for all of us watching. Now for Hulkenberg, do you think he'll have a little bit of a tear in his eye as he's effectively on his way to win the Monaco Grand Prix?
No, I'll just be waiting to pick up his pint at the finish line, I would imagine.
That's actually something we can discuss. I mean, people think, oh, it's easy driving these cars, or it's easy driving any cars. And Hulkenberg, he's already effectively celebrating the win, but one of the things that I had the realisation of, or the remembrance of, when I came and had a blast on project cars, was just how much hard physical work it can be, and how smelly and sweaty you get after doing a few laps. So for these guys doing 43 laps around Monaco, you can pretty much guarantee that if their girlfriends are with them, they'll be taking them for a shower after the race. But Hulkenberg, he's on a cruise now. He knows he's got this one in the bag. He'll be waving to the fans. He'll be burying his head if he goes and spins it and doesn't make it to the finish line. But, I mean, absolutely fantastic race from him. Absolutely fantastic. What a way to bring the title fight back against Hesselden than to take victory here in Monaco.
And finish a lap ahead of Hesselden and with it leading right behind him.
Yeah. I mean, I think Hulkenberg would have had a wry smile on his face as he was wiggling that rear end of his car across the line, knowing that it's Hesselden looking at it. And that's no disrespect to Hesselden. Hesselden is a fantastic driver. And it's taken a lot of hard work for Hulkenberg to have any chance of beating him, really. But for Kingsley, though, I mean, he's coming round to take second place. I mean, he's had one hell of a race.
Yeah. The final timing for the race. Fastest first sector of everybody was Hesselden with 25.6, and then the fastest second sector and third sector both held by Hulkenberg, 32.2 and a 32.1 respectively.
Fantastic information there, but also fantastic result for Kingsley, taking second place in Monaco. Dave the Harp, he's going to cross the line to finish third. Yes, Richie Davey, he's on the podium again. And a fantastic race from Dave, to be honest. I mean, he's gone longer on his tyres than anybody else in the race, doing 15 lap stints until making a short stint at the end of the race there, because Hesselden pitted, allowing that to happen. For Hesselden, no, it may only be fourth place, but it's enough points to keep him leading the driver standings with 2 races left to go. And he's into the barriers a bit here as he's got a bit of damage on his car, but it's still a great result for him, taking fourth place. And for Duofin, gotta say, credit to him for taking fifth place in what is not an easy race here at Monaco. But now we can invite the podium sitters in for a little bit of a chat. So apologies for the blue screen for a moment, folks, but I'm sure we'd like to hear the thoughts of a couple of the drivers here. Let's see, James Hulkenberg and Kay Slay. So as we wait for them to come in, I'm going to quickly ask these two guys. Quickly, guys, before they come in, drive of the day. Ray's not listening. Oh, no, he's not turning his mic off mute. I'm tempted to say Kaysley.
Yeah, it's been a good drive. I just think Hulkenberg's been faultless from start to finish.
I won't argue with you. I will not argue with you. I mean, Hulkenberg, you're right. Absolutely terrible drive from Hulkenberg there. Can you tell he's just joined us?
What did I do?
Hulkenberg has joined us in the commentary box, as has Dave the Harp. We'll just hang on a moment for Kay Slay. and then we'll get on to the questions. Obviously, we can tell that Hulkenberg's pleased about that one, and K-Slay has joined us. So, guys, if you could please make sure that you've got your microphone set to allow to be shared. I've got to say, what a race. Absolutely fantastic from you three guys and everybody else that took part in that race. What a race it was. My first question to you is, how sweaty are you?
Oh, I'm going to have to jump in the shower after this. How are you, Dave?
That sounded like Hulkenberg was asking Dave to join him in the shower.
Come on,
for a
Dave.
shower. How about
Let's
you?
go.
So what about you?
Dave's ice cool.
Yeah. So what about you, K-Slay? Feeling the temperature on that one? A bit of a hot one?
Yeah, sweaty after that one.
Well, I've got to say, fantastic drive, as I mentioned, from all three of you. We're going to crack on with Hulkenberg. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. From the previous races we've seen, you've been good on tight, twisty circuits. There is no other circuit as tight and twisty as this one. So the potential was there, but I think it was clear straight away in qualifying. Drivers were having to take a lap or two to get the tyres up to temperature. Yours was switched on straight away. So how good, or how good a feeling was it when you banged in that first lap time that just made everyone go, oh great, I might as well just go to the pub now?
Well, to be fair, that lap time equalled my personal best in the whole week of practice. The 28.8 were fastest I've done all week, and to be fair, I was going to be happy with a 29.5. To be fair, I was thinking, well, you know, I'm not going to be able to hit that, and then straight out of the box, bang. I was like, how have I done that? But
well, you did it. It worked. It was pole position. It was a very, very clean start to the race. That opening lap, a lot of pressure on you on that opening lap, because in many respects you needed to keep leading at the end of that opening lap to try and create a gap. So talk us through that first lap.
Well, I've got to say, before lights went out, I'd already dropped the clutch, and I was thinking, oh no, is that a drive-through? Worst place you want a drive-through. And it was as sweet as you want. I'll have a quick look back, see K-Slay had a slightly better start than me, and I was heading down to turn one, and I thought, oh, is he going to try and do me out with that outside? But luckily I'd just done enough. And yeah, first lap was pretty much conservative. The entire first stint I was driving very tentative, just looking after it, and then as soon as the gap started building, then I started pushing, because it's one of them circuits very much like Bathurst, where if you don't push, you're probably going to slide into a wall, whereas if you push and you play with the car and get the rear end kicking out, you feel like it's way more comfortable even though you're driving faster. It's weird.
Well, I mean, it worked for you. I mean, we were discussing at times about, I mean, once you'd opened up that gap, your challenge was a mental one. Keeping the concentration, keeping the focus. We were discussing, is he going to be pushing? Is he going to be going for fastest lap? Then you popped in the fastest lap, and yes, he's pushing. A little later on, is he still pushing? Yes, he's just gone deeper at the head of the Nouveau Chicane. He's definitely pushing. So was it a bit of a mental battle throughout that race?
Oh yeah, I mean, people probably worked out from last week's race I was extremely cheesed off with what happened. And the fact that the points gap had gone from Hesselden in his favour about 15 points, I thought, I need all the help I can get and just get as many points in bag. Not bin it, but at the same time, not be overcautious and bin it in the wall.
Well, it worked, and the gap now will be down to 2 points. Hesselden will be leading you by 2 points, if my maths is right, which it probably isn't. Okay, I'm quickly going to hand over to Gavin and Ray. You got any questions for the race winner here, Hulkenberg?
James, were you expecting it to be, I won't say easy, but as conservative as it was?
Well, me and Dave throughout this week have done a ton of practice, and yeah, I did a lot of stints just driving behind Dave, and even though in practice, to be fair, we're about a second quicker than him over one lap, but in race pace he was pretty much dead on with me. Once I was behind him, there was no way of getting near him, either from dirty air or he had way better straight line speed. So I thought to myself, if I get in front, not being big-headed, but I don't think there's any way of anybody getting past. So it was mainly just about not making any mistakes.
Well, yeah, we saw what it's like at Stetterton trying to get past you. Okay, right, any questions for Hulkenberg?
Off you go.
Oh, your head get out your bedroom door.
Well, hang on. No, it's not doing it. No, I've got to say, and a big thank you to Dave the App for being a gentleman on the straight.
Well, don't get
just
that. He wasn't happy about that one.
No, was it? Should have made them look Dave. Don't went past. No, Hulkenberg, do you think since coming off F1 that you've been able to work better with your project cars?
Yeah, I think I'm finally being able to manipulate the car, whereas in Formula 1 there's no way of manipulating it. You've got to drive it on rails and one mistake and that's it.
Okay, quickly move on to second place. We may come back to you in a few moments, Hulkenberg. We'll move on to second place, Case Lane. I've got to say, Kendall, absolutely fantastic race there. Huge disappointment having to make a pit stop early on. So, was it damage that caused that early stop?
Come on, and then my alignment was about, and then hit the barrier into the swimming pool. So yeah, I had to put it in.
Well, I mean, the opening couple of laps, it was noticeable that you'd got pace, and you may be able to look at attacking Hulkenberg. You also had to be careful of Dave behind you. Once you did make that first pit stop, you had one hell of a tough fight on your hands to score as many points as you have done. Your strategy, though, seemed to work out very well, doing sort of 10-lap stints, and throughout a lot of the race, you were the fastest car on the track. So we asked each other during commentary, if you were in that seat, are you loving it right now? And sort of Gavin said, yeah, he's loving it. So after the disappointment of having to make that first pit stop, was it an enjoyable race, apart from when you were stuck behind that pain in the backside, Dave the Arp?
Yeah, being on the side, I could push a bit more. I don't know, I'm quite grateful to get second, because when I came out of the pit, I think I was 7th. So I'm grateful for that.
Well, it was your pace and the way you drove on the day that allowed you to sort of work your way back through. On one of your stops, I think you were close to Dave, you stopped, he stopped a couple of laps later, he came out ahead of you. How frustrating was that? Because you had a couple of bites at trying to get past him sort of through the tunnel, but wasn't quite able to do it.
Yeah, I think he went 1 or 2 laps longer. And I thought I might as well try and go for it. But I was on the outside of turn 1 and I thought we were going to hit each other. But thankfully we didn't. And then going deep into the race, I noticed that he went long on his first stint. So I thought at the end I'd do an extra stop and try and catch the gap back up, and thankfully it worked.
Well, you caught that gap up in 4 laps. They were some stonking laps you were putting in at that time. How on the edge of grip of the car was you on that stint of trying to close that gap up?
Oh yeah, I think I was scraping the barrier with the rear tyres a few times.
But worth it. considering that when you both made your, what would have been final pit stops, you managed to gain about 8 seconds. You came out about 8 seconds ahead of him. At that point, was it just solid relief?
It was, but with about 4 laps to go, I only had about 6 litres of fuel left.
So it was a splash and dash.
Yeah.
Thought it was.
Oh, now that's going to bug Dave the Hog, because I don't know if he had to do a splash and dash as well, but Hesselden got himself a little bit of damage, I think, and pitted. And that possibly then made Dave go, well, you know what, I can pit for a brand new set of tyres, which we thought then let you go, oh, I'll go for another set of tyres. We saw it may be a splash and dash. So on that, we'll move over to Dave the Harp. Dave, you banging your head now thinking, if I hadn't gone for that last set of tyres, I could have had second.
No, we only stopped because Hesselden stopped.
So, oh dear.
Because I wasn't going to catch K-Slay on my tyres. So I thought I'll just get a new set of tyres and it was good to the end.
Hindsight is a wonderful and painful thing at times, but Dave, I've got to say, a fantastic race from yourself there. You did go longer on your tyres than anybody else, apart from possibly Duofin. I'm not sure how many stops he didn't do. Usually he only does one everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if he was at Le Mans, racing 24 hours at Le Mans, he'd still only stop once, and that would be to begrudgingly let someone else get in the car. But a fantastic race from yourself. I mean, how difficult was it keeping the guys like K-Slay, Hesselden behind you while you were on those warm tyres?
It's without sounding big headed, it's not difficult at all around there. James couldn't get past me in practice all week. And how quicker he is than I was. So I think it was just down to the track really late, so he couldn't get past. But I'm just crediting myself there now, really.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it's a shame that you could have got second place knowing what you know now, but you go on what you feel in the race at the time. So, I mean, a third place is still something to brag about, I think. Now, I'm going to hand over to Gavin and Ray. You got any questions for Dave?
Gavin, you can go first. Unless you fell asleep.
I've got a question for Dave.
I've got a question first.
Yeah, driver, you keep it quiet a moment.
So you let James through. Was that to stop a level stiff happening?
No, there's no point in trying to keep him behind and back when you're losing time. There was no fresh tyres in mine. Just totally worn out.
But who was it was behind Dave? Was it K-Slay that was behind you talking about BP?
It may have been.
Remember I said if they two connected then...
Yeah, true. I mean, Ray was saying that had you, Dave, sort of defended a bit from Hulkenberg, it could have possibly led them two to battle, crash each other out, and you could have gone on to win the race. So just to add insult to injury with hindsight, you could have won the race if you'd have made them fight. Go on then, Hulkenberg, I'll let you ask him a question.
I was going to say, on lap 4, I looked in my mirror and saw yellow and black cars flying everywhere out of the tunnel. I don't know what was going on there.
Hesselden must have braked and left the back side.
Yeah. Braked a little later by the looks of things, and just thought it'd show Dave a different view of the chicane.
I've got to say though, just from following Dave around here, it is so easy to have a silly collision round here. Like, not even mean to have a collision and you can bump into somebody, so if it's been pretty clean, it's been pretty sweet driving out there.
To be honest, throughout most of the race, it was very, very clean. There was a few bits of contact between Duofin and Neotig, but it was dealt with in a respectful manner, which was commanded on at the time. Okay, quickly, go on, Ray.
And they've done a great bit of racing through the hairpin.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was some beautiful, beautiful racing out there. I mean, Dave Harp and Casely going side by side through the tunnel, where you can see that Casely's going, turn, 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 don't slide too much, and Dave's going, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit the wall. It was very, very close. There was some beautiful racing out there today. Hulkenberg, you were just boring. But yeah, I mean, very well done to all of the drivers. I'm going to fire one last quick question to our podium sitters here. Catalonia's next, and then it's Imola. So, Hulkenberg, do you think you can go and win those two and take the title? And to Casely and Dave the Hart, what do you think your chances are of those two tracks?
I'd probably say Catalonia's on cards, because it's high speed, a lot of downforce, that's what I like. Imola, on the other hand, that super long straight, you need no downforce pretty much. Maybe a little bit, but not too much. But yeah, Catalonia's on cards. Imola may be a bit of a struggle.
So it could get interesting towards the end of the season. So Casely, the last two races for you.
Try and get on the podium, I suppose. I've not got the best pace in these cars. But I'll give it a go.
I want to see you go and win one. That's what I think you should be able to do in the last couple of races.
I'll give it a go.
Good luck. So Dave, yourself, Catalonia and Imola. As you're thinking on those?
I like both tracks, I think I could do Catalonia.
Well, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. So next week, next Friday, 9 PM, that'll be for the PCF round 9 at Catalunya. The championship showdown is now in effect. Next up on the Front Row Racing YouTube channel will be Sunday evening at 8:30 PM for the PCS for round 8 at the Dubai Autodrome GP layout, and that'll be in the Aussie V8s, where these three guys and another 11 will be taken to that racetrack to see who can come out on top. So thank you very much to all of our drivers today. Thank you very much to all of our viewers. Thank you to both of my co-commentators during this Monaco Grand Prix. This has been the Front Row Racing PCF. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.
Good reference.
Okay, the broadcast has ended.
Fucking
Time for a fag, Dev.
I bet there was no sparking up a joint in the pit lane on